Why would a future king suddenly cut off a child from royal life? And what would push him to make a move so drastic that it sends shockwaves through the entire monarchy? When Prince William made the decision to bar Queen Camilla's grandson from royal circles, many were stunned. It wasn't just a punishment, it felt personal. And behind that decision lies a deep, complicated web of tension, resentment, and quiet power struggles that have been brewing inside the royal family for years. What really happened that day at Windsor Gardens was more than a family dispute. It may have changed the future of the monarchy. Prince William has always been known as protective, especially when it comes to his children. But few expected him to act so swiftly and decisively after an incident involving his oldest son, Prince George. On what seemed like an ordinary Sunday, the royal family had gathered at Windsor Gardens. The mood was light. The children were playing, and the adults were enjoying a peaceful afternoon. But behind the scenes, something dark was unraveling. Camilla's grandson, a boy not born into royalty, but recently spending more time at royal events, began teasing Prince George. At first, it looked like innocent banter, but things quickly took a sharp turn. The comments grew more cruel, targeting George's future role, his appearance, and even making insensitive remarks about his late grandmother, Princess Diana. For George, who's already living with the pressure of being a future king, it was too much. He stayed composed in the moment, but the emotional weight was heavy. That night, he quietly shared the incident with his mother, Princess Kate. Her reaction was one of heartbreak and disbelief. Catherine, usually the calm and composed figure of the royal family, was visibly upset. But it was William who took action. He wasn't just a father protecting his son. He was a man drawing a firm line, making it clear that there are limits, even within the family. By barring Camilla's grandson from all royal activities, William didn't just send a message to one child. He reshaped the power dynamics in the monarchy. The decision was bold, but it wasn't made in a vacuum. For years, Queen Camilla has walked a fine line within the royal family. Despite her long marriage to King Charles III and her efforts to fulfill her royal duties, she has often struggled to feel truly accepted, especially by the younger royals. According to royal biographer Christopher Anderson, Camilla never fully warmed to Kate and initially saw her as an outsider. That discomfort has lingered, casting a long shadow over her interactions with William and Catherine. Over time, those uneasy relationships evolved into deeper frustrations. When Prince William began suggesting that younger royals take on more active roles, things escalated. His proposal wasn't just about duties, it was about reshaping the monarchy for a modern age. He believed that figures like Kate and Duchess Sophie should represent the crown more publicly, bringing fresh energy and a relatable image. One major shift included Duchess Sophie replacing Camilla as the patron of the National Police Chiefs Council, a role Camilla had taken seriously. Kate, too, was in line for greater responsibilities. These changes didn't sit well with Camilla. To her, it felt like being pushed aside. The tension reached a boiling point during the Balmoral Summit, where senior royals gathered to discuss the future of the monarchy. While William and Princess Anne spoke confidently about modernization, Camilla appeared shaken. Insiders noticed her unease. She had spent years building her place beside the king, and now it felt like that work was being slowly undone. When Camilla made pointed remarks about Kate, who is typically praised for her loyalty, elegance, and grace, it shocked many. Even Anne, who values tradition but supports change, was surprised. For Kate, who had always treated Camilla with respect, the criticism was deeply hurtful. The strain between Camilla and the younger royals wasn't just emotional, it was strategic. There's growing speculation that Camilla has long been working to secure a permanent place for her family within royal circles. Her children, Tom Parker Bowles and Laura Lopez, had always lived outside the royal spotlight. But recently, they've been appearing more frequently at royal events. Some believe Camilla hoped to slowly integrate her family into the royal fold, maybe even secure them minor titles or ceremonial roles. Whispers even suggest she had bigger ambitions, a future where her granddaughter might grow close to Prince George, perhaps even romantically. While that may sound far-fetched, Arranged relationships and dynastic planning have long been part of royal history. But if Camilla had a plan, the incident with her grandson may have shattered it. William's response wasn't just about one afternoon. It was about setting boundaries and protecting the monarchy from internal threats. The young boy, once seen as a potential addition to royal events, was now entirely cut off. No more roles, no more invitations, no more consideration. It was final. Within palace walls, the reaction was mixed. Some supported William's decision wholeheartedly, saying it was right to prioritize George's emotional safety. Others worried that the move would deepen the growing divide within the family. King Charles stayed silent throughout, a choice that spoke volumes. His attempt to keep the family together, especially during gatherings like the one at Windsor Gardens, had clearly failed. Camilla, reportedly furious, found herself isolated. Her years of careful relationship building, of trying to elevate her family's place in history, now seemed like a house of cards collapsing. Public appearances only fueled the gossip. Some of her grandchildren, once visible at events, were suddenly absent. Smiles looked strained. Seating charts were rearranged. And the press, always quick to notice these subtle shifts, began asking difficult questions. At the heart of this crisis is a broader challenge: how to keep the royal family relevant in a rapidly changing world. William and Kate have become symbols of that change. They understand the importance of modern values, respect, openness, emotional support, and want to reflect those values in the way they raise their children and serve the public. They believe the monarchy can't survive by clinging to old traditions alone. It needs to evolve. But not everyone agrees with their vision. Camilla, though loyal and determined, has deep roots in the past. Her rise to queen consort was already marked by years of public skepticism and controversy. And now, as the monarchy moves forward, she risks being left behind. Still, Camilla isn't someone who gives up easily. Despite this latest setback, many believe she's quietly strategizing her next steps. Her loyalty to King Charles is unwavering, but her personal ambitions are becoming harder to ignore. Every public event she attends, every photo opportunity with her children or grandchildren, seems to carry an extra layer of meaning. Is she still trying to shape the future from behind the scenes? The bullying incident may have been the spark, but the fire was already burning. William's protective instincts kicked in, but his decision also reflects a broader commitment to modernizing the royal family. He's not just preparing to be king, he's already acting like one. And while that strength is admired by many, it also places him at the center of intense scrutiny. If the public begins to view his actions as disrespectful or too harsh, it could damage the carefully curated image he and Kate have built. What makes this story so powerful is how it reveals the raw emotions behind the royal facade. At the center are people, parents, grandparents, children, trying to protect what they love, often in very different ways. William acted from a place of love and frustration. Camilla acted from fear of being forgotten. And in between them stood a boy, George, caught in a moment that exposed the fragile balance between tradition and change. The event that triggered all of this wasn't some formal scandal.
It was a football game.
A hot summer day, children running on the grass, and then a few cruel words, quietly delivered, but deeply felt. Staff noticed George's change in demeanor and quickly moved to shield him from the press. But the damage had already been done. Back at home, Catherine and William saw the emotional impact clearly. That was the moment William made his decision, not just as a father, but as the future of the monarchy. What followed was swift and symbolic. Camilla's grandson was removed from guest lists, his name omitted from future events, and all previous efforts to position him within royal circles were quietly erased. It wasn't just about punishment. It was a message. The emotional well-being of royal children comes first. And in a family known for keeping emotions behind palace walls, that message was revolutionary. As the monarchy stands at a crossroads, the choices made now will define it for generations. William and Kate seem ready to lead with clarity and compassion. But Camilla's next move remains uncertain. Will she choose to support the new direction, or fight to preserve her place in the old world? One thing is clear: the days of silent acceptance are over. The future of the monarchy is being rewritten, and everyone is watching. If you found the story as fascinating as we did, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. There's so much more happening behind palace walls, and we'll be right here bringing you every twist and turn.